That's not an alien. That's not an alien. That's not an alien. So I've talked about Blip, the alien, in That's Not an Alien, and I briefly mentioned the other aliens. So there's the little blue balls, the little round aliens. Then there's the tall, thin, cucumber-shaped aliens. And there's the purple luggage. And there's this sort of brown splat who's really there to be the sort of butt of everyone's jokes. They see this thing and think, oh God, somebody's vomited. So the blue aliens, they're a ball. They're based on a little character called Spuffy. Small person used for explaining everything, and he was based on this character Ix or Ips from Puppet Show. It's either German or Dutch or somewhere. So far back in the mists of time, I can't even remember what it was. But I created this little character Spuffy, and when I was writing things, he'd be there pointing, saying, "This now goes to page 22, or move this bit, but before this a bit, and then after the other bit," and that kind of thing. And I still use him today when I'm writing, because it comes in handy to remind myself what to do. It's a little character who's sort of telling me off, rather than telling myself off. He then evolved into this blue alien, and then I discovered there are lots of ads out there which have blue little berry-shaped things for Ribena or some chemist. All sorts of things. I mean, there are so many round characters with arms and legs and a face. It's just a sort of a standard. If you want to create some sort of anthropomorphized thing, you sort of have a round shape. An M&M with arms and legs and a face. And I suppose if you want to go back, you've got Mr. Potato Head. So it's a potato with arms and legs and a face. So it's a very common theme. So the blue round ones, and there's a little, the extra cute cuddly things, and they're often where they fall asleep and sucking their thumb, just to be extra cute. Then there's the green cucumbery things. So it's like a cucumber, and it's sort of got a mohawk, but they're not really hair, they're sort of rubbery spikes. And it's got 3 legs with 3 suckers on the legs, and it's got the arms with 3 little suckers. And they were based on the alien from the film War of the Worlds. You only saw it briefly. The hero of the film shines a torch on this thing and it puts its hands up, and you see sort of 3 fingers. And that was really about it, until the very end of the film, where you see this arm hanging out of this spaceship with these 3. So I paid homage to that alien by having those arms and legs on this 3-legged thing. And he's got a little sucker, and he loves to go around sucking. As soon as he sees something, he sticks in his mouth and sucks it. Suck it and see. I don't know why he does that. Blip often comes up and slaps it out of his hand and tells him off. Stop sucking the locals and things like that. If it's not nailed down, he'll suck it on. I've mentioned in other videos that I'm interested in perhaps making animation in the future. Most of the books I write would become animated TV shows or movies, and certainly if you've got little aliens, drawings of aliens, it's easier to just do an animated drawings. Possibly 3D would be better. 3D aliens, bit like Shrek, rather than Lord of the Rings, where you're trying to make photorealistic beings. I'll wait till then to work out how these cucumber aliens walk with 3 legs, because nobody has 3 legs. There must be a reason for that. They've either got 2 or 4, or 6 or 8. And the purple luggage, it sort of looks like it evolved from a blue alien. Maybe it was mutant, and they thought, oh, he's got a big hole in him. Oh, we should do something with that. So somehow they've ended up with this big round purple thing. It's got arms and legs, and it's got a zip. It unzips itself, and inside there's a sort of a cavity, and it's got little arms inside there. So a blue alien will walk up and go blah 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 blah. The purple alien will unzip, and it'll pull out something and hand it to the blue alien, like a soft drink, and he'll drink it, or a towel or something. So living luggage. Later on, I have a great big pink suitcase, which is sort of living luggage, which a suitcase with legs and eyes and furry eyebrows, and it just goes rrr. So it was just an idea to have a living luggage. Spoilers alerts, one of the luggage gives birth and it has a little baby. Or it has a purse, I don't know. It could grow up to be a full-size luggage, it could just remain a purse. That's an added layer of complication and a little bit different from most of the Alien films we've seen. And then there's this sort of brown splat, which is really just a face. And this thing sort of wobbles along the ground. Someone will see it and go, "Oh, what's that?" And it'll go, "Ooh." It, later on, has a more prominent role, but I won't give it away just yet. At the end of That's Not an Alien, there is another sort of Blip tour leader that appears, but he is subordinate to Blip, and it's never really explained why. Perhaps Blip is the guy who runs the tourist company, or he's the head tour leader. I don't know. It's not really explained, and it's not going to be explained. Just make up your own version to explain things if you really need an explanation. And later on there'll be a female red alien named Cluck, but she'll be a bad guy. So I won't go into too much detail, but we will encounter her, and she speaks English. Occasionally we meet these aliens who speak English. Most of the time they just go blah 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 blah, because I don't really need them to talk. They don't sit down and have these long conversations. It's not like The Day the Earth Stood Still, where they sit down and discuss, why are humans so violent and all that kind of stuff. In some ways, the humans have those conversations with themselves. The alien just goes, blah, 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 and the humans go, perhaps he's asking us why we're so violent. That's a good question. They're a little bit like the dwarves in The Hobbit. They don't have particularly assigned roles, but when they're in the background, the green thing will go and suck on something, and the blue one will be cute and cuddly, and then the luggage will sort of wander into shot, or it'll go and stand in the corner. All the purple luggage will line up in the background obediently, and then the brown splodge will just go past and go ooh and wander off. And then we have the big furry cavern mouth beanbag type things, and they come in towards the end, sort of the end of book 2, which was Still Not an Alien, and then they make a big appearance in the third part, which is called You Call That an Alien? And they just go around eating everything, and all the other aliens are terrified of them, and the humans don't particularly like them because they seem to be impervious to bullets, and they just pick things up and eat them, and they just go around and go rah, 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 rah. If you ever saw Tweety Pie from the Muppets, this huge alien with a big mouth and these big furry eyebrows, and it would just sort of eat everything. So again, an homage being the word du jour, very much ripped off from that, and also Marty the Monster from the whatever the television show that was. A bit of a combination of those two. I just wanted a big furry alien that seemed to eat everything and seemed to be unstoppable, but not actually malicious and nasty. It just sort of, it eats things because it wants to. So, sharks really just go around eating things because they need to eat. It's not, oh, I don't like you, I'm going to eat you. Not bearing a grudge. They just eat. Crocodiles, even the aliens from the film Alien, were basically just, that's how they reproduce. Latch onto your face and burst out of your stomach. It's nothing personal. So they are the aliens in my book. There is another alien which I'll talk about later. They make a brief appearance at the end of That's Not an Alien, and they become a bit more prominent later on, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. But if you've ever seen Rick Wakeman from Yes, with his big flowing silver cape, give you a bit of an idea, sort of an alien version of Rick Wakeman. So there. Alright, I'll talk about other things later. Oh, and if you feel like clicking the like button or the subscribe button for more of this content, then go right ahead, don't let me stop you. Why not subscribe to youtube.com/ScuttyArk and be entertained forever? Theoretically.